Welcome back to another video. In this video, we will give you the update for August 11th, 5:30 a.m. Tuesday. It is it's early in the morning as usual for me, and I had to get my coffee because I ran out of my own, but I've got it, and I'm good to go here. And I noticed this article. I figured this would be the main article I talk about because apparently Russia has approved a vaccine for you know what. And, well, I got a notification this morning from Kitco saying that's why gold prices are going to be down today, which seems a little ridiculous, but let's read. Gold and silver prices are sharply lower in the U.S. trading Tuesday, with the yellow metal falling back below 2K. Traders and investors have put risk back on the table today, due in part to news overnight that Russia has approved a C-19 vaccine. Putin told reporters that the vaccine has been given to his daughter. However, global health experts are cautioning that the Russian vaccine is premature because it has not gone through full stage 3 trials that last a few months. Oh, right. But the Fauci Bill Gates sponsored vaccine that's going to come out early next year is going to be perfectly safe. Right. Still, the marketplaces so far Tuesday morning taking the Russian news is very good. October gold futures were down 51.70 at an ounce. October gold futures were last down $51.70 an ounce at 1978.60, just slipping under 2,000 there. Silver prices were down by $1.04 at 27.785 an ounce. I mean, silver's still holding pretty high. Let me tell you, just on this news, I don't care about Russia being the one that came up with the vaccine. And I'd probably take a Russian vaccine over anything that comes out of the U.S. that the mainstream media tells us we need to take, if you feel me. A look at the daily charts for both gold and silver today still show prices are in normal downside corrections and still strong uptrends. More strong selling pressure this week could produce near-term chart damage, thus price action in gold the rest of this week will be critical. Bulls still have the solid near-term technical advantage in both metals. Global stock markets rallied in overnight trading, and the U.S. stock indexes are also pointing towards higher openings with the New York Day session begins. Besides the Russian C-19 vaccine news, there are reports that Congress and President Trump may be inching closer to agreeing upon a new government stimulus package for Americans, and that's also a positive for marketplace sentiment. Also, the new C-19 cases in the U.S. are starting to drop just a bit. The important outside markets today see NYMEX crude oil prices firmer and trading around $42.50 a barrel. The U.S. dollar index is down. The yield on the benchmark $10 U.S. Treasury note is presently 0.6%. Okay. Technically, the gold bulls still have the solid overall near-term technical advantage. Bulls' next upside price objective is to produce a close in October futures above solid resistance at last week's record high of 2078. Bears' next near-term downside price objective is pushing futures prices below solid technical support at 1900. First resistance is seen at 2000 and then at today's highs of 2031. First support is seen at the overnight low of 1976 and then at 1950. Wyckoff's market rating 8.5. Okay, cool. So the price of gold is supposedly going to come down a little bit. This website is super broken because when I hit this button, oh, sorry. Never mind. I thought I was reading the wrong thing, but yeah, it looks like the market is open, and yeah, gold is down, but I mean silver's still 27, almost $28. Like I always say, and I'm not shilling for a particular website. You can go to your local silver bullion dealer, but I mean, silver is the easiest to get into right now. A Silver Eagle is going to cost you $30 if you add a premium to it. It's pretty easy. I would definitely start stacking some metals, just as another way to diversify your portfolio. Okay. We don't need to look at that. We don't need to look at this. Let's go here to China's BSN. Now features live integration of Ethereum, EOS, Nervos, Tezos, and NEO. I've never heard of Nervos. BSN, a Chinese government-backed blockchain platform, has just launched its official international website. The English language website went live on August 10th with an aim to attract developers to build dApps and run nodes on the six public chains the network consists of. The launch of the website comes weeks after China's ambitious BSN project forked, splitting into an international and Chinese-focused network. Well, you gotta hand it to China. At least they see the writing on the wall, and that crypto is something that we need to take seriously. Yeah, BSN Global Portal goes live. One of China's biggest and most ambitious blockchain projects, the Blockchain Service Network, has launched its international website. Announced earlier this month, the website went live on August 10th and will allow developers to utilize both services offered by BSN and those offered by public chains in its network. The network was launched in April this year in a bid to create a hosting platform for small and medium-sized businesses that would facilitate the creation and deployment of various decentralized applications. However, just 2 months after launch, the network forked into two distinct companies, one focused on the domestic Chinese market and the other global. The BSN International chain, which launched the website, is headed by Red Date Technology, a Chinese company that was one of the original founding members of BSN. Developers can utilize BSN's massive network. BSN has been expanding its offer of public chains in the wake of its international expansion. The network now features live integration of 6 public chains: Ethereum, EOS, Nervos, Tezos, Neo, and IrisNet. The network offers 13 public chain nodes, including Ethereum Mainnet, Ethereum Ropsten, Nervos Mainnet, Nervos. Okay, I'm not going to read all those, but I mean, basically, China's going to be integrating crypto into its I don't know, maybe its entire financial system. They're not saying no to crypto. They're saying yes. All of this allows developers to build decentralized applications and run nodes through the data storage and bandwidth of BSN's data centers. Aside from BSN's own services, developers can utilize the resources offered by BSN's partners. These include the cloud services offered by Google and Amazon Web Services, as well as the permissionless blockchain offered by Hyperledger. Yeah. The vision of BSN is to offer a one-stop shop solution for developers. According to the network's website, a 3-peer Fabric dApp with 10 TPS and 10 GB storage costs about $20 per month to deploy on the BSN. Public chain services could cost as low as $20 per month, enabling access to all public chain nodes on the BSN with 40,000 requests per day. I mean, they're basically really trying to get crypto developed in China. Good for them. From, I guess, Peter Schiff here. Schiff, the most unloved gold bull market I've ever seen. Last week was a big week for precious metals. Gold broke above $2,000 an ounce and kept climbing, pushing over $2,075 later in the week. Meanwhile, silver blew through 28 and 29 an ounce on Thursday and knocked on the door of 30. But even with another week of solid gains, there still seems to be a lot of skepticism about precious metals. Peter talked about gold's bull run on his podcast and said it's the most unloved gold bull market he's seen in his entire career. On Friday, we did finally get a corrective sell-off. Gold was down about 40 at one point, and silver fell back below 28 for a time. But even with the sell-off, gold still closed well above 2,000 and was up 3% on the week. Silver ended up closing above 28 and saw a 15.5% weekly gain. Gold has closed higher for 9 consecutive weeks, but as Peter pointed out, there have been down days. Nothing goes up every single day, and gold and silver are not to be the exception to that rule. There are no bull markets that are up every day. You're always going to have down days. Peter said it seems investors haven't figured this out. Gold and silver stocks started selling off Thursday even before spot prices dropped, and they continued selling Friday. GDX, an index of gold mining companies, was down slightly on the week. Peter said that this tells you a lot about the nature of this bull market and the wall of worry that it has been scaling. I've been talking about this phenomenon on this podcast this entire time. The gold stocks have not really confirmed the bull market, even though the bull market is taking place anyway. We haven't seen it in gold stocks. That's a quote from Peter Schiff. Initially, a lot of people were saying the same thing about silver because it was lagging behind gold's rally. Peter said the fundamentals are better than any he's ever seen. The Federal Reserve is printing trillions of dollars. Jay Powell has said it isn't even thinking about raising interest rates, and there are reports that the central bank is set to make a commitment to ramping up inflation. All of this is extremely bullish for gold. Agreed. In a CNBC interview, U.S. Global Investors CEO Frank Holmes said he can see 4,000 gold in the relatively near future with the G20 finance ministers and central banks working together like a cartel. They're all printing trillions of dollars. Yep, just creating money out of thin air. We've not seen this level where central banks are printing money at a zero interest rate. At zero interest rates, gold becomes a very, very attractive asset class. Peter said the technical chart looks good for gold as well. So you've got a great chart, you've got great fundamentals, yet still people don't believe this bull market. And the proof that they don't believe the bull market is the gold stocks. They are not rallying the way you would expect. They are being dragged and kicked and screaming to news highs by a relentless bull market that everybody assumes is over. Peter pointed out that there's a difference between the buyers of gold and those who buy gold stocks. The buyers for gold and silver are real buyers, individual investors, and in the case of gold, central banks. The buyers of physical metal are buying as an alternative to fiat money. They are voting with their feet. They are running away from their fiat currencies, and they are running towards a real monetary alternative in gold and silver. On the other hand, buyers of gold stocks tend to be stock buyers and speculators. Peter said he thinks the investment community doesn't believe the gold rally is going to last. They don't believe gold mining companies are really going to benefit from a temporary rise in gold. Peter mentioned that a lot of people seem to think that the rally in gold is simply a function of C19. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I mean, it's definitely a function of C19 and inflation. I mean, they're just printing money like crazy, guys. It is terrible. That's why I'm now hedging into precious metals myself, and I recommend you do as well, even if it's just a little silver. Let's just cap off this video with a little bit of crypto news. Bitcoin's still holding decently. It looks like it slipped a little bit. Everything slipped a little bit. This is a normal day. Yep. XRP still holding at 29. Actually, XRP was the only one that gained a little bit in the last 24 hours. Chainlink is down a whole 8%, but it's still holding at this ridiculously near all-time high of almost $13. Cardano still holding around 14 cents. VeChain still holding at above 2 cents. I'm probably going to pick up some more if it slips underneath 2 cents. And yeah. Okay, well, that's going to do it for the news on finances this morning. Just another short update for you. You can catch the update every morning somewhere around this time, except Sundays. And that's going to do it. Have a great day.